art channel. This is a new space. I actually have moved in this year already, once again. So it's really interesting and intensive to being a first-time mom. And I have a lot of things to tell you. So there are a few updates. I try to keep it cohesive. So what I already did in my last apartment was recently I picked up painting again, and I upgraded these piles of unorganized assortments of oil colors, which were all piled in one box, and put them neatly into a system. It just looks tidier this way. I'm just seeing that I could have bought an even bigger magnetic board, but I think I'll manage with this one for the time being. So they are just sorted by transparency levels. So do you remember the last piece I showed you with the white gesso I put on top of such a panel? I actually finished this artwork, and I will present to you a little bit of the progress to come to such a conclusion, because it was quite a while. I finished it in I think 3 or 4 sessions with different steps. So it was a very interesting progress for me, and I think it turned out very pretty, and it looks a lot more like impressionist style for my sake. I would say I not tend to do stuff like this, and I tend to not muddle colors a lot. So I tend to have very clear colors in my paintings, but this time I tried something new, and I think it turned out pretty great. This painting is just about what I've seen on my walks in this area. So if you're new to my channel, I have moved from Berlin to Brandenburg. I have moved another time since then, but that's why this setup has changed. But I will talk about that some other time, because it's quite a lot of information. Anyways, I take a lot of walks since I came here, even more so than in the city somehow, even though it's not like more busy, it's just more nature, I think, and it gives me some peace of mind. And even in my pregnancy, and even until now, I almost daily walk at least half an hour. So it's really interesting, and this painting is all about what I saw on these walks during springtime. In the following, I will show you some steps from this painting, how it concluded like this. The first layer was very expressive and drippy, using tons of solvent to get colors in and establish a rough feel for ground and earth. So at this point, I didn't even had any clue what to do with the rabbits I added in this painting. In the second session, I filled in some patches which spoke out to me and refined the overall brush strokes and balanced colors. So the only time slot I had in the early time of the year was when my child was sleeping, and it was after 9 p.m. So it was difficult with the lighting and stuff. She didn't need anything and everyone else was asleep, so I could put in some time to work on my painting. And here you can see the trees I added. After adding, I added pink tulips to give the whole thing some tangible perspective. I used these photographs I took over time from spring flowers as reference material, which I just observed during that time. The color combo was directly transferred from some neighbor's garden I saw. You can see the photo here. Next, I wanted to get rid of the very right rabbit, but I decided differently after a while. I corrected overall the bunnies because they didn't look right for me in perspective and position, so I actually deleted one of them. And I made some adjustments, and in the end I put another flower I saw on my walks right here, and it was a flower with very cool colored leaves and cool colored petals, and I thought it would fit nicely to balance out a little bit of the warmth in this piece. I really like the colors, because it's very springy. Rabbits and bunnies are like symbols of fertility, so I guess that's the thing. Playfulness and childlike notions, so that's what I connect with them at least. And even for the tulips, if they are in late bloom, I actually saw some yellow tulips outside I didn't add, which were very late in their bloom, and their tulip blossoms, they just look like the single petals, they just look like rabbit ears, which was a funny coincidence. So just by observing the world, it's quite easy to find inspiration, but you have to really get yourself to do something with it. And this piece is completely impressions, and the figures are, of course, the rabbits and bunnies is not really something I have seen during these walks. I've seen other animals like deers and stuff. Yeah, I just like the brush strokes and the simplicity of the figures. It has something, it looks like even like Asian brushwork. I can't explain it correctly, I think, but these very fluid brush strokes, which are not even interconnected all the time, they remind me of like some ink work I've seen from Asian type of Asian heritage paintings. I don't know. It just reminds me of that, even if it's just a small detail. I tend to fixate a lot of my work on outlines, so it was a very interesting process for me. I didn't finish any other painting actually, but I have been to an artist market. It was an art and crafts market, and we signed up for a booth. So you had to pay 50 euros for the booth cost to have a stand for 2 days. I made a lot of products. I made postcards and posters, and they turned out really good. I have some clips from this time, so you will see that. And these are hand drawn. I drew this on the market actually, and this one day before the market. Even this is copied colors on ink outlines. I even have a picture in the local. I got myself a picture in the local newspaper. It was a summer event. It's every year, but I think I would not do it again. I think the groups which go there for running around and just looking around are not exactly what I'm looking for. But I actually sold one original on the last day, in the last hour, and that made it all worth it. So it was a very happy coincidence that happened. And I actually noticed that I sold from every product thing I had, I sold at least one. So it was so diverse, I couldn't pinpoint what actually worked or what not. It was just like a matter of timing which person would come to my stand at what with what interest. So it was kind of random. On the second day, when we learned how the market kind of worked, and the first day the weather wasn't so good either, so that was also a bit disappointing. But on the second day we changed up the whole setup and made it a bit more clearer what people can go to, because before I would place my originals in the front like a wall, and I think it was a little bit off-putting and a bit overwhelming because there was a lot of big paintings, and I wanted them to focus more on the postcards and the posters and to lure them a bit closer. And then I also set up a table for children to paint, and it was really nice to see that it actually was used, but not from adults, only the children had the courage to use it. Second day was good weather. Overall, I think I would not do it again. Maybe if I'm better prepared, I should change some focus, because the pieces people want to grab there are like things you can buy with pocket money or like small trinkets and stuff. And postcards did not work so well. So I think selling originals is better. And I also sold a biggest size of a poster I had, and it was like surprising. Actually, I sold 2 originals, but one original was a drawing, and it was really, really cheap because I did it in 20 minutes. And when someone bought that one, it was like a decision, like she saw like this painting and said, "Oh, I can hang it up in this room," and I told, "I'll buy it," and I didn't have to do anything, right? So if people bought something, it was like an immediate decision, and it was really interesting to see the reactions of the people. So that made me very happy, and there was some interactions. I enjoyed it, but it was also tough because we had our baby with us all the time, but my husband was so kind to support me during that time, and we spent like the weekend together. Yeah, and it was a very nice experience. I would recommend to everyone who is interested in that kind of stuff to just try it. When I was in Berlin, which is a city known for underdog artists and stuff like that, and musicians, it never crossed my mind to actually go and have a market stand for my own, which is weird because it's like it was like the next best thing you can do. And what I thought was, when I had the stand, when I had my little booth, I was thinking this would have worked better when I would have been in Berlin, because it's a different types of people who would come to an artist alley, which is only for art and not for other trinkets. Yeah, so I had different ideas and thoughts about the whole thing. During spring, I actually also applied for a gallery which searched for artists in the area and stuff like that, and I was actually also chosen for that, which starts in October and which starts in September, lasts until October, and my art can be seen on the weekends there. And I will put the address here. It's not really a big deal because it's just a very local thing, and the city actually organizes this display for free at the end of the year. So the last show of the year, which will be that one where I will participate in, which will have different artists from around the area. They actually organize it, and it's for free, so you can sell your art, but you don't have to pay any tuition or fee or anything else. So it was a really good opportunity, and I just tried. I made a little spreadsheet of examples of my work and said, these are the things, and that's my story, my background, kind of. I just moved here, and yeah, and it turned out well. So I'm excited. It would be the first showing of my original artwork. Still interesting that there are like such local opportunities. So one artist which is also there, which was showing in this gallery, we also talked to by chance when we were walking, and she said like she also lived in big cities like Berlin and London, and she's living from her art, and she said actually everything is working well here, even with my job. So I guess you can find opportunity anywhere, and you don't even have to live in a super large city to make a move, like to get involved or something like this, just show some activity. But I was surprised that there was no setback. They just said, yeah, come and do your thing. Well, so even if I don't have my child, there's always so much to do, especially after moving. It was really putting a lot of pressure on me and my husband, because we had the small child and we had work and all this organization to do. I tried not to fixate too much on having to join in on all the work that had to be done around the house, but it still was not the best idea from timing wise, but to move here was the right decision because we needed space to separate work from private life, and we didn't have that space at the last apartment. The lighting in this place is so much better. It was like the biggest difference I noticed right away is we had windows on one side in the last apartment, and there was no way there's a gust of wind or something. And this time we have windows in every side, in 3 sides, and we can just have all the wind come in and change the air. And also the lighting is like impeccable. It's like one of the best lightings I ever had in my apartment staying life. So that's so cute here, and I really love the apartment. And even my husband's father had his 60th birthday, so there was always something going on, and I was totally maxed out. Yeah, it was quite a lot. Lately, the last months were quite a lot. Maybe I should try to do more short videos, but I'm not entirely sure. It's not really my cup of tea. I don't have, I already told this, but I don't have like the capacity to think as a videographer and paint my painting at the same time. It's quite actually difficult to do. I'm not sure how to handle this. So I'm not 100% sure what I think of is my path forward in my artist identity, because I'm just experiencing things and I'm getting close to local stuff and I'm just trying out things. I want to finish a website this year also. So this will be in the last part of the year. It's as far as my plans go, I'm not 100% sure, but it's been an interesting year for sure. So I have limited time, but I hope to finish a few pieces at least until the end of the year. So, and I try to document it also, but I'm not 100% sure how I will manage because there's so much other things to do, even when my child is sleeping. Honestly, I wish I could just be a machine and just my child is put to sleep and I go and I just can activate all my brain capacity and then draw like crazy. So it comes with some challenges, but yeah, I have some time slots to do some me time and I'm very thankful for that, but it will be interesting. I hope to continue a little bit on this art journey, even though it took me a long time to actually put out this video. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video and hopefully we will paint together again.